Yeah, I just record. Yeah, you can start, Rishabh. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, welcome. So let me start by sharing my screen. Okay. Okay. Before we start, good morning, everyone. Um, Thank you for joining the Salesforce CPQ plus Billing or Salesforce Revenue Cloud series that is conducted by SB TechSoft. Before we start our session for today, let me just give you a small introduction about me. So, my name is Rishabh, and I have been working with Salesforce domain for past around 8 years. I have total 7+ years of experience in Salesforce. In total, I have 12 Salesforce.com certification that includes Salesforce CPQ specialist and Salesforce Revenue Cloud consultant as well. I am an all-star ranger in Trailhead. So, this course we have specifically designed for someone who is looking to get specialized in Revenue Cloud. Okay, what Revenue Cloud is? Revenue Cloud is combination of Salesforce CPQ plus Salesforce Billing. This would be a 45-hour training where what we would be doing, we would be going over each and every Revenue Cloud topic theoretically plus practically. What I means by theoretically and practically, in our every session, we were going to review the topics for the topic or the agenda for that day. Okay, we would be giving you or we will be letting you know how that particular functionality is works in Salesforce CPQ. Then we would be doing some hands-on practice on that particular call same day. After once the call is finished, I would be giving you a small assessment each and every day. There would be one minor project and one major project in this training session. So that major project, that would be a replica of how you would be implementing Salesforce CPQ and Salesforce billing in in a particular client's org. So I have worked on multiple projects till now. So any of those project, I will give you the requirement from either one of my project that you have to implement in your developer org. So let's start with the content that we have for today. So today what we are going to check is, first we are going through, or we will go through an introduction to Salesforce CPQ is. We will check what Salesforce CPQ is, exactly why do we need, or why do an organization require Salesforce CPQ. Then how can we configure and grant permission to Salesforce CPQ. So once we have installed the package, how we make sure the correct user have correct permission for Salesforce CPQ. Then we will take an overview of Salesforce CPQ process flow, how Salesforce CPQ works, end-to-end process of Salesforce CPQ, and then the QLE overview. So QLE stands for Code Line Editor. So we will have a small overview of that as well. Okay. So before we start our course, is there any prerequisite? So there is no prerequisite as such, but it is recommended that you must be a admin 201 certified. Like you should have Salesforce administrator certification. It is not mandatory to have that certification, but it is recommended because if you have the admin certification, or if you have the basic admin knowledge, it would be easier for you to grasp the concept of Salesforce CPQ. Then you must have basic knowledge of Sales Cloud. So how Salesforce CPQ works? Salesforce CPQ works on top of Sales Cloud. Okay, so Sales Cloud is required to install Salesforce CPQ in your particular org. If you have purchased the Salesforce org only with Marketing Cloud, you would not be able to install Salesforce CPQ in your org. Okay, so basic requirement, how products, price book entries, opportunities, products work. This is also required. Then who is our target audience for this particular course? So anyone who is interested in learning in Salesforce CPQ is our target audience. Now, what is the first step towards learning? So uh, before we start with our course, the first thing that you need to do, or each and everyone have to do, that you need to create a Salesforce developer org with the Salesforce CPQ package pre-installed. So you can use this link for that. Let me open this link. Okay, so I'm going, let me do one thing. Let me forward this link into the meeting chat. Okay, so this is how the link will work. So the way you create a normal Salesforce developer org, same way you have to create a developer org from here. You just have to enter your first name, last name, your email address, role, company name, postal code, and then a username. You just have to make sure this username is unique so that you do not get any errors. Then, okay, if once you install or once you create a developer org from the following link, you will get the below things. The first thing is the developer org. You will get in that particular developer org, the Salesforce CPQ package would be pre-installed. Okay, you don't have to install the package again in the particular developer org. Then CPQ data would be pre-populated there. So there would be some test records, some test data available in that particular org that you can use for training purposes. You can either use the existing data or you can create data of your own. Then the package license that will be remain active for 90 days. So once you create the developer org from the following link, the developer org will remain active for 90 days. After the 90 days, the CPQ package will get expired. So after 90 days, you might need to create another org. Okay. So make sure before we start the session or before we start the continuous session, you must have a developer org to play with. So try to create a developer org from this link. Then let's come to the common coding challenges. Okay, so why do we use Salesforce CPQ? Okay, the purpose of using Salesforce CPQ is to create a branded code that we would be sharing to our customer. What I mean by quote is just a PDF document or a Word document of quotation that will contains the informations of all the products and services that we are going to offer our customer. The quotation will have pricing information, discounting information, terms and conditions, and legalities. Okay, now there are organizations who are creating hundreds and thousand quotes daily. Okay, if those organizations they are not using any cloud-based software or they are not using Salesforce CPQ, they are still relying on offline, what I can say, offline softwares like MS Office. Then there are n number of issues that those companies can face. The first one is products and pricing catalogs are maintained in offline files. What I mean, let's suppose if a company is offering 100 products, okay, the pricing and availability, like whether that particular product is in inventory or not, all those information is stored in a offline file like Excel file, Word file, or a PDF file, or there can be an offline database where all these information are stored. Okay, after that, what needs to be done? That particular file needs to be shared with each and every sales user in your org. Okay, each and every sales user in your org must have access to those files. Then only that particular user can start uh, working and start creating code for the customer. If there is a pricing change, let's suppose there is a product that has been changed from 100 US dollar to let's say 150 US dollar or 200 US dollar, then that particular information needs to update it on all those offline files that we have. If we miss to update the information
Mm. That's
in
okay.
any of
Then
the
what?
in any of
Now,
the
so
file, what could happen? The sales rep will still code the product on the previous price. Then outdated information floating around. So as I told you, there can be a scenario where company upgrades their product. They can start applying offers and promotions. So those things each and every time we make some changes in our product that need to be updated in all the offline files. Then there are large product catalogs. Those are governed by complex business and technical rules. So what I mean by that, if some let's assume someone is uh, configuring a gaming PC for themselves. Okay, now they went to an organization. Okay, or they went to a company. Okay, and they have given their requirement, like I want this particular motherboard, I want this particular graphics card, I want this particular RAM, all these things I want. Okay, now the sales rep who is creating a code, that particular sales rep is not a technical person. Okay, so he might not be aware about the technical rules that governs the project product combination. So what he can do, he can give you a particular motherboard or a particular graphics card that may not be compatible with each other. Okay, once you have signed the code, okay, then the particular code will go to the order provisioning team or order fulfillment team to complete your order. Once order fulfillment team will start working on your request, they will know, boss, the products that you have ordered are not compatible with each other. In this scenario, what you would be doing, you would be um, coming back to the company saying, or you would escalate the issue, like why I have been given the incompatible code, incompatible products in my quotation. So to correct all this, like again, a new code needs to be generated by sales rep with compatible product. This would be a time consuming process, plus there can be a chances of revenue loss. So this is the most important thing. There are some products, those are governed by either business rule or some technical rules that we will not be able to implement in our offline method of creating code. Then unorganized offline or email approval. So let's assume a sales rep is creating a code for a customer, okay, and he wants to give 25% discount to the customer. But if a sales rep need to apply discount more than 20%, he needs to get an approval from sales rep. Now, if there is no cloud-based software, or like, or they are not using Salesforce CPQ, the approval needs to be happen either manually or needs to be done on email. This can take a lot of time to approve the code sometimes. Then inability of sales rep to self-service. What I mean by self-service is here is, let's say your company is selling some offer and promotion. Like if you're buying n number of products, you will get particular n number of swag products. Okay. Now, or there can be n number of offers that your company is applying. Okay. Now, if there is no cloud-based system, then the sales rep will have to worry about first creating the code, getting the correct discount on the particular code, getting the code approved. Sometimes he may forgot to add or apply those offers and promotion to the customer, or let customer know like we are having these offers or these promotions with us. Okay, and first thing, if a particular customer is buying a particular product, okay, and that particular product, if he buys two or three additional products, that particular product will work perfectly, or the new products will enhance the functionality or the performance of the existing products. So let's assume, let's say someone is buying a particular mobile phone. Okay, so what we can do with that particular mobile phone, we can offer the customer a particular mobile case, a particular mobile holder, something like that. That thing also cannot be done properly using the offline methods. Then the documents generated manually with low consistency in branding or content. Now, if we are generating documents manually using Word or any other tools from Google, then what could happen? There can be some inconsistencies between two documents. Like there can be some font changes, font style changes, image size changes, table size changes between two documents. So offline document we cannot say will be 100% consistent. We can find n number of discrepancy between document 1 and document 2. Then missed opportunity of increased deal size. So upsell and cross sell, we will not be able to do it very frequently if we are using an offline method to generate a particular code. Then missing place to store the data and report. Now if you are creating codes using an offline method, then there is no place for us, there is no database for us where we can go and check how many codes we have created, how many products we have sold to the customer, and then how much revenue we are expecting for the next quarter or next year. Then financial impact of making things right when a coding error is made. What I mean by that, if let's suppose I have sold incompatible products with each other, or I have sold a particular product that is not in inventory. So there can be a financial impact of making things right. Like I have to start from scratch again, create a new quote, send that quote to the customer, and then get it approved. So there can be some financial impact if a quoting error is made. Then let's come why we use Salesforce CPQ. Now, what Salesforce CPQ does, it allows user to focus on customer instead of pricing, discount, calculations, and promotion. So what will happen? Let's suppose if a sales rep is on call with the customer. Okay, sales rep will ask the correct question to the customer, and based on the answer he is getting from the customer or based on the customer requirement, sales rep will have to add the products. Okay, sales rep will not have to worry about pricing, discount, calculations, and promotions. All these things will be taken care by Salesforce CPQ in the backend. Then the next thing is, or the next advantage is guiding users through a consistent process of selecting the best product for the customer. So using Salesforce CPQ, what we can do, um, we can create a guided selling. What I mean by guided selling is, as I told you, there can be a scenario where the sales rep are not the technical person. Okay, so now what we can do, we can create some set of questions for our sales rep. That sales rep is going to ask to the customer, and based on the response, the sales rep is getting, or the sales rep will get, the sales rep will create the code, or sales rep will add the product. So let's suppose we have created three questions. Like the first question would be like this: what kind of product you are looking for, hardware or software? Then what kind of hardware product you are looking for, whether are you looking for a mobile phone or a particular laptop? If they select laptop, next question would be related to laptop, like what configuration are you looking in your laptop, whether you are looking for a MacBook or you are looking for a Windows laptop. If you're looking for Windows, what are the RAM that is required? So there could be a series of questions there. Based on the response on question one, the next questions will appear. If we create this type of guided selling, then it would be easier for sales rep to sell the correct product to the customer. Now, enforcing business and technical rules to ensure complete and valid configuration. Now, what do I mean by this is, we can create some product rules and price rules just to make sure sales rep always selects the correct product. What I mean by selecting the correct products is, selecting the products those are compatible with each other. And then we can, if we have some price rule, like based on certain condition the tax amount should change, or based on some certain conditions discount amount should change. For those, what we can do, we can create a price rule. So in our training session we are going to review all these um, tools, that is option constraint, price rule and product rules, discount schedules, that we can use to control our pricing and product configuration. Then ensuring the latest price and products, uh, ensuring the latest products and pricing data is always available and used to prepare quote. Since all the data is in our Salesforce environment, okay, once we update the data, it will be updated for all the users because of the cloud-based functionality of our Salesforce CRM. So we don't have to update the data again and again. Once the data is updated, it would be available for each and every user to use. So using Salesforce CPQ, we can ensure that whatever data sales rep is using for product and pricing is always 100% accurate. Then Salesforce CPQ have a different or a separate discounting engine. Plus, there is a package called Advanced Approval that we can install on top of that, on top of our Salesforce CPQ. So, using Salesforce CPQ, managing discounting and approval becomes very easy. Then the last is generating dynamic proposal document with consistent branding, content, and structure. So I told you the main objective of Salesforce CPQ is to create a branded quote, branded and consistent quote with correct product and pricing information. Okay, now if we use Salesforce CPQ, we don't have to worry about this thing, like one there can be a no low consistency in branding on content. Each and every document that we are going to generate using Salesforce CPQ would be um, consistent in branding and structure. Okay, so till now what we have discussed what are the coding challenges that a particular or a business organization may face. Then high or how Salesforce CPQ can help reducing those problems or those errors that an organization may face. Now let's take a look what Salesforce CPQ stand for. So, or what Salesforce CPQ is. So here, Salesforce CPQ stands for configure, price, and quote. You can say this is an abbreviation or full form of our CPQ: configure, price, quote. So CPQ software by Salesforce is a sales tool for companies to provide accurate pricing with any given product configuration scenario. So what I mean by any given product configuration scenario, there can be different type of product. There can be physical products like mobile phone, laptops, televisions. Okay, these are the physical products. There can be subscription product or services like subscription to Hotstar, Amazon Prime, Netflix. There can be pay as you go product like a postpaid mobile plan, like where how many data you have been used or how many calls you have made. Based on that, your bill will be generated. And there can be n number of type of product configuration. So Salesforce CPQ is capable of handling all those type of product configuration. Okay. Now CPQ application takes into account optional features, customization, quantity, discount that allow sales rep to quote and price quickly and accurately. Now, Salesforce CPQ gives our sales team an easy to use software that would be available on any device because it is based on cloud based platform. Since it is hosted within the Sales Cloud, it will give you a direct link between our CRM and Salesforce CPQ. So there would be no need required for an external integration for this. We can just install the Salesforce CPQ package and start using the package on top of our Sales Cloud. Okay, now let's take a look what comes into the configure part of Salesforce CPQ. So in configure part, what would we do? What we as an admin will be doing, or we as a developer will be doing, we would be setting up products, bundles, and add-ons. We can create guided selling for our sales rep to pick the correct products. We can show related offers and promotion while sales rep is creating a quote for a customer. Then we can drive business and technical rules to govern the product combination. So these all things we would be doing, or these all things come under the configuration or configure part of Salesforce CPQ. Then what comes into the pricing part? So the pricing part, in the pricing part, we providing relevant price for products and bundles, then setting up discount engine, allowing offers and promotion, and then let the system calculate the final price based on the sales user selection. What I mean by this, there can be scenario where a different discount or a different tax needs to be applied to our quote based on the region location. So all that automation can be done using a price rule in Salesforce CPQ. Then let's come to the quote part. So what quote is that I told you earlier, the quote is either a PDF or a Word file that will provide the details of products or servicing or services that we are offering to our customer with terms and conditions along with some legality and uh, some legal bindings. Okay, then the code template that we are going to create using Salesforce CPQ would be a reusable template that we can create the template once and we can generate n number of documents using those template. Then it produces consistent, professional, and branded quotes and proposal. So this is an introduction to Salesforce CPQ. Okay, now uh, do anyone has any question till here? Like, as I know we have not went into a developer org, we have not gone through any training video, but anyone has any question or doubt, feel free to ask. Okay, okay. I'll consider this silence as no. We will continue. If anyone has any doubt, or if anyone has any question that they think they need an answer for, just feel free to raise their hand or unmute. I'll answer your question. So, okay, let's go to how do we configure and how do we grant permission to Salesforce CPQ. Okay, so the Salesforce CPQ is an installed package. Okay, we have to install the package in our org. Once the package is installed, we would be able to find the package in the installed packages here. So if I click on install packages, I'm able to find Salesforce CPQ here. Okay, now since this is the developer org I have created using this link, this Salesforce CPQ package is pre-installed here. But in your production environment or in the live environment for your client, what you have to do, you have to install the Salesforce CPQ package externally. So how you will install the package? Either you or the business analyst needs to connect with Salesforce. Okay, Salesforce will provide us a link to install this particular package in our production environment. Okay, so there are some prerequisites before installing the Salesforce CPQ package in a production environment. Those are the first thing, we have to enable the email deliverability to all the users. That is the first prerequisite. If we do not complete any of these steps before installing the package, our package will not work as expected or may not work as expected. So that is the first step, enable email deliverability. The second step is enabling chatter. So the chatter needs to be enabled for all the user. Third thing, we need to enable the order. So Salesforce CPQ uses the standard Salesforce order management system. So standard Salesforce order object would be used inside the CPQ. So that order object also needs to be enabled in our Salesforce org. And then the last thing is we need to enable the CRM content. Okay. Now, once we have completed these steps and installed the package uh, in our production environment, there are some steps that needs to be followed. What we need to do after installing the package, we need to configure the package as well. And to configure the package, what I have to do, these are the steps. From the setup, I have to click uh, install packages. Then from the install packages, I have to search for Salesforce CPQ and click on configure. Then once I click configure, I have to go to this pricing and calculation tab, and then I have to click authorize new calculation services. So let me go here. So I am already in my install packages. Let me click on configure. Once I click on configure, I will see the Salesforce CPQ configuration page. I can configure my Salesforce CPQ package from here. Okay. Now, okay, what our steps mentioned, it mentioned we have to go to this pricing and calculation tab, and we have to click authorize new calculation services. Now, since it is a developer org, that I have created from this particular link that I shared with you. This developer environment automatically comes with the new calculation services. I don't have to authorize new calculation services, but if you install Salesforce CPQ in your client's environment, you have to make sure you come here in pricing and calculation tab. By default, this legacy calculator checkbox would be checked. Okay, and there would be a button here that say authorize new calculation services. So what we have to do, we have to click on that authorize new calculation services. Once that calculation service is enabled, this legacy calculator checkbox would be unchecked and the new calculation service would be enabled. Now, what's the difference between legacy calculator and new calculation services? So let me come here. So earlier, what Salesforce CPQ was doing, Salesforce CPQ was using Apex classes to calculate the correct pricing and correct discounting, or to calculate the correct price. Salesforce CPQ was using Apex classes. But there are some governor limit for Apex classes, like there are fixed queries that we can use. There are certain fixed number of DML operations that we can perform, and also there is a limit of 10 second of transaction timeout. Now, so if there are an organization who are working on large quote, like there can be an organization who can quote 100 or 200 products together, 100 or 200 different products together in a single quote. Now, those large quotes were failing Okay, so to because of the apex governor limits. Now to overcome these governor limits, what Salesforce CPQ has now done, Salesforce CPQ has created an integration with a Heroku server. Okay, what that integration do? That integration calculates the pricing, or the that particular integration performs an asynchronous calculation. Okay, so the information from Salesforce CPQ will go to the Heroku server. All the calculation will be done there, and then the information will come back to Salesforce CPQ. Now, this integration has reduced the number of errors the sales reps are getting, or sales rep were getting. Now, one more thing to keep in mind, if we not enable, like you can say you are working for a small organization, and that particular they would only be quoting 2 or 3 products together. Okay, they would not be quoting more than 50 or 100 products, so you don't want to enable the new calculation service. You can say the legacy calculator is working fine for me, and I don't want to enable the new calculation service. One thing to keep in mind here, Salesforce CPQ has stopped providing support if you have if you are using the legacy calculator in your org. Let's suppose you get any error, you will get in touch with Salesforce CPQ. Salesforce CPQ will check your org, and they will simply say, boss, you are using the legacy calculator, upgrade yourself to the new calculation service, then only we will be able to assist you. We will not assist you, or we will not help you if you are using the legacy calculator. So this is an important thing. We have to make sure, like once the CPQ is installed in our production environment or client's production environment, this legacy calculator needs to be unchecked, and new calculation services needs to be authorized. Okay, now this is it. This is all we need to do to configure the Salesforce CPQ once it is installed in our production. One thing to keep in mind, the Salesforce CPQ package will always be installed in the production environment. Then once the package is installed in the production environment, the lower environment or the sandboxes will be refreshed, so that the data from our production environment replicate or reflect in our sandbox environment. And then we would do or we will make all the required or necessary changes in our sandbox environment, and perform the DevOps, or perform the CI/CD, and push the changes from our DevOps environment or Salesforce environment to the sandbox environment to the production environment. Now let's come here. How do we grant permission? So what we have done till now, we have only installed the package using the link that we got from Salesforce CPQ. Okay, but to modify the CPQ objects and field, user must have a CPQ license. Okay, after installing the package, we have to make sure we have assigned the CPQ license to the user. If the CPQ license is assigned to the user, then only a user would be able to make or access the Salesforce CPQ related object. So how do we assign a license to a Salesforce user? So same thing again. The first step is, from the setup, we have to go to the install packages, and then click on install package. Then we need to find Salesforce CPQ and click on manage license. Then after the license is assigned, uh, permission set comes into the picture. That also needs to be assigned to the user. I'll tell you why, but let's check how the licenses can be assigned. So I'm going to click cancel here. Okay, I'm going to refresh my page. Okay, okay, I am in. Let me go to setup again. I think there is. Let me go to setup. Okay, let me type installed packages here. Okay, so from install package, we need to find Salesforce CPQ and then click on manage license. Now again, since it is my developer environment, what I see, this package has a site-wide license which provide a license to all your users in your org. You can grant access to any user via permission set of profile. Because this is my developer org only come with 2 Salesforce licenses. Hence the package that got installed for testing in this particular org comes with a site-wide license. That means we just need to install the package in our org. We don't need to assign license manually to our users. Each and every user in our org will be able to or will have a license assigned to them automatically. Okay, but in your production environment, what you have to do, you have to make sure that you manage licenses or you assign the licenses to the users who require access to Salesforce CPQ. Now, just by assigning license, what will happen? All the users now get access to install to Salesforce CPQ. But all users should not have the same level of access because there can be different type of user. For example, there would be an admin user. Who the admin user would be? User would be the user who would be making the configuration level changes, like who would be maintaining the products, who would be maintaining the price catalog, who would be creating product rules and price rule. So that would be a Salesforce CPQ admin user. That admin user require end-to-end permission or each and every permission related to Salesforce CPQ. Okay, then the user comes into the picture. This user is normal sales user. Okay, who would so the work that sales user would be doing? Sales user would be just creating a record, creating a code, adding products to the particular code, sending the particular code for approval, then sending the code to the customer, and then so they would be doing just normal day-to-day code creation work. They don't have to worry about the configuration or they will not be making any configuration level changes. And again, there can be partner user and customer user. So partner users are the users if we have a channel selling model and we are selling our products through a partner, then the partner user will come into the picture. And the customer user, like customer is the end customer who is buying the product from you. So we can create partner communities and customer communities using the standard Salesforce Experience Cloud. We can use the CPQ functionality in the partner community and customer community. So if we have a partner and customer users, then those users also require a different level of permission. Now, how do we manage which user or the correct user gets the correct level of permission in Salesforce CPQ? So Salesforce CPQ has provided some permission sets that comes out of the box. Okay, so the first permission set is for user type admin. There are two permission sets for admin user: Salesforce CPQ admin user and Salesforce CPQ admin user access. So, to a particular user who would be making the configuration level changes, we would be assigning him this CPQ admin user or CPQ admin user access permission set. Then to a normal sales user, there are these two permission set: Salesforce CPQ user or Salesforce CPQ user access. Then for partner and customer user, again, we have different permission set. A partner user will have Salesforce CPQ partner user permission set or Salesforce CPQ partner user access permission set. Same thing, a customer user, they will have Salesforce CPQ customer user or Salesforce CPQ customer user access permission set. Okay, so this is how. Uh, so for our users to work on Salesforce CPQ, what changes we need to do? Like first thing, before installing the packages, these are the prerequisite steps that we need to perform. Then, once the package is installed, we have to configure our package and authorize the new calculation services. Then, we have to make sure all the users who would be using Salesforce CPQ must have a Salesforce CPQ license assigned to them. Then, once the license is assigned based on their role or based on the type of work they are going to do in our Salesforce environment, what we would do, we would assign them a correct permission set. Okay. So till now, what we have done, we have just went through some basic introduction of Salesforce CPQ. We have not logged into our developer or created any code, or I have not shown you how the Salesforce package looks like or how the Salesforce CPQ package works in a real life environment. So let's just go through this process flow once, and then what we are going to do, we are going to log into our developer org, and then I will show you the process one by one. So okay, so in our normal sales cloud, the same way, the sales process starts with creating an opportunity. So, okay, whenever we have a deal with a customer or whenever we are in a negotiation stage with a customer or a client regarding any product, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to create an opportunity record. Okay, from that particular opportunity record, in now I'm talking about Salesforce CPQ. Okay, in normal Sales Cloud, you just create an opportunity, add the products to your opportunity, and then close one or close loss that particular opportunity. This is the functionality of normal Sales Cloud. But in Salesforce CPQ enabled org, what you would be doing, you would be creating an opportunity first. Then from that particular opportunity, you would be configuring products. Okay, what I mean by configuring products, like opportunity needs to be created first. Then from the opportunity, a quote record would be created. That in the particular quote record, you would be adding all the products and services that you want to sell to the customer. Then on the same quote record, the pricing and discounting part will come. You can define the price or apply additional discount to your products. Then once the quote record is there, all the products are added to our quote record. What we can do, we can generate a PDF document. Okay, that particular PDF document with all the information that we want to send to our customer, and then we can send that particular document to online signature. What I mean by online signature here is Salesforce CPQ provide us point and click integration with Adobe Sign or DocuSign. Okay, what we can do, we can if we use those out of the box integration or point and click integration, we would be able to create a digital envelope, and our PDF document would be sent to the customer through that digital envelope, and the users will be able to sign the document digitally or electronically. Now, if the document is signed, then the contract record will be created in Salesforce. Now, don't get confused with this contract as a legal binding or a document with legality and terms. This contract is just a record in Salesforce CPQ that will store the information of what services we have sold to our customer. Okay, that is the job of contract record. It is not a legal binding or between a party A or party B, or not a legal binding between the company and the customer. Okay, then from the contract, what we can do, we can add additional quotes or an order to that particular contract, and then we can renew our contract. What I mean by renew our contract, let's say your company is selling a subscription product for 12 months. Let's say, or let's give us a small example of Netflix annual subscription. A customer has buy a Netflix annual subscription with you for 1 year. So once the year is completed, that subscription needs to be renewed. So to renew those subscription, so what Salesforce CPQ has provided us, Salesforce CPQ has provided us a functionality of renewing the contract. And once the contract is renewed, a renewal opportunity would be generated. And once the renewal opportunity will generate it, the same process will start again. From the renewal opportunity, we would be creating a quote, and the same cycle will go on again and again in the loop. So now let's do one thing. Let's log into our developer org and show you how this functionality or how Salesforce CPQ works. So let me come here. Okay. Now I told you the process starts with creating the opportunity. But before we create an opportunity, okay, we have to make sure we have the
I
correct
have a
product.
doubt
Sure. Hi,
on
Vicky.
this. So, hi, good morning.
Good morning.
uh, Definitely, whatever you are explaining, it's really pretty good. But I think I missed in the first 5 minutes or something. So,
Okay.
the Salesforce CPQ, it's a custom application what we created, or when we install a package, that itself comes up there like that.
Okay. So it's a custom package, or that we can say it is a managed package from Salesforce. So we don't have to do anything from our end. What we have to do, we just have to get in touch with Salesforce CPQ and get a link or get an installation link with n number of licenses, and we just need to install that package in our org. Once the package is installed, we would be see like this package is installed, and we can start using the Salesforce CPQ functionality.
Okay. So, that Salesforce CPQ, a kind of application, whatever we see it, that's not an application, but when we are installing this package, we get that UI directly.
Correct. We will get that UI. We don't have to write a single line of code, or we don't have to write or don't any do any configuration to access Salesforce CPQ. Now, how you can access Salesforce CPQ for training purposes. So I have provided this link in the chat. Let me ping it again. Okay.
Okay.
So
Can you do it again, please?
yeah, I just pinged the link again. If you open this link, this web page will open. And from here, what you can do, I'm sure you might have created a Salesforce developer org earlier for testing.
Yes,
Same way,
developer.salesforce.com I had just created and using a login.salesforce.com. I keep using it.
correct. So now you can create similar way a developer org from here. The only difference between the normal developer org and this Salesforce CPQ enabled developer org is once you create a developer org from this link, you will get this Salesforce CPQ package pre-installed in your org
Okay, okay.
for training purposes, right? And this will remain active for 90 days. So in for 90 days, you can make any configuration changes that you want just to play around Salesforce CPQ.
Okay, all right. So can't
And
we make the same on the existing org?
no, so there are some ways like let me show you. Install dot steelbrick.com. You can also okay, install dot steelbrick. Okay, you can also use this link to install the package directly in your existing developer org. But
Okay,
I
correct.
would not suggest doing this because the first thing is um, if you install the package from here or if you create a new developer org from this link, the first thing you will get the updated version of the Salesforce CPQ from the Salesforce itself. All the functionalities, all the updated functionalities would be there. The next thing is if you install the package from or if you create a new developer org from this link, you will get some training data pre-populated in your environment that you can use for testing and training. So
Okay,
what I recommend for the sake of this training, even though you can install a package directly in your production or or in your developer environment, from here, avoid doing this and just create a new developer org for the sanity because if it's a new developer org, there would be less chances of bug, and since there would be test data pre-populated, it would be easier for us to go through that particular data and use the existing data for our training requirement.
okay, great. And over here, when we are going to put our username, so
Okay.
if we can take the older existing one itself, or again, this should be a unique one.
It should be a unique one. So whatever, let's suppose you have a developer org, let's say Rishabh at svtechsoft.com. If that is an existing username, you will get an error like this username already exists because Salesforce
Yeah,
CPQ,
okay.
not Salesforce CPQ, Salesforce require
Okay, just
unique
make
username.
a change
So
like
you can
Rishabh
just
one at
make it unique.
SSC.
Yeah, or rishabh.cpq at svtechsoft.com,
Okay,
something like that. But make
sure,
sure it
definitely.
needs to be unique.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome, Vicky. Okay, now let me come into my org. Okay, so what we have discussed till now, the first step of our deal will remain the same. What we have to do, we have to create an opportunity first. So before creating the opportunity, we have to make sure we have the product catalog ready. So I have created some products, like I have already created this iPhone combo products, AirPods product, some memory cards product, this Netflix annual subscription. So I am not going to create a new product here. Once, so there are six different type of products that we can create using Salesforce CPQ. Okay, this product is a standard Salesforce object, but once we install the CPQ package, what happens? Salesforce CPQ enhances the functionality of our standard product object, and it will gives us some additional fields that we can use to configure this product based on our requirement. So we can create a standalone product, we can create a subscription product, we can create a usage based product, so we can create n number, we can create a bundle products. So product configuration, we are not going to take a look today. So let's assume we have this Netflix annual subscription with us, and we have a dummy laptop product with us, and we are going to sell those two products to our customer. So the first thing is we if there is an account or there is a contact, we will just simply create an opportunity. So let's just quickly create an account and contact. We want to start fresh to avoid any data issue. So I'm going to create a new account. I'm going to name it SV TechSoft first customer. That's it. That's all the information I required as of now to create an account in my developer org, since I don't have any validations or required field. Then I creating a contact is optional, but I'm still going to create a contact. So the contact would be, let me give my name and email. I'm going to just, okay, and I'm going to click on save. Now we have account and contact. Now what we want to do, we want to sell a particular product or sell the two products that we have discussed to this particular account. So we will start with creating an opportunity first. So I'm going to name this opportunity first deal. Close date, I can give any date, stage, prospecting, and I'll give on save. Okay, now my opportunity is ready. The next step from here is generating a particular code for this opportunity. Since we have the CPQ package installed, we would be creating a code. If the CPQ package is not installed, then we would be simply creating an opportunity, directly adding the products here on our opportunity, and then we would be closing the particular opportunity. But in the CPQ enabled or to leverage the CPQ functionality, what we would be doing, we would be clicking this drop down here and clicking creating a new code. Okay, so I am going to search the opportunity here. First deal, account, SV TechSoft first customer, primary contact that we just created, and we have this primary checkbox that I'm not going to check now. We will check the relevance of this primary checkbox later in this video. So my code is ready. I'll click on save. Okay, now my code record is generated. As of now, we have only generated a code record for this particular customer and this particular contact. We have not added any, what I say, any products to this particular code. Now, how do I add the products to this particular code that I want to sell to my customer? I would click edit lines here. From this edit line, the first thing that I have been asked to select a price book. Now, there can be multiple price book uh, based on our requirement. As of now, I am going to go ahead with the standard price book. I'm going to click on save. I'll provide the start date of this code to 12 today's date, and I'll just provide a subscription term of 12 months. That's it. Now I'm going to add the products, and I'll add this Episaro dummy laptop product. This is the first product that I am going to add, and then the next product that I am going to add is this Netflix annual subscription, and I'm going to click on select. Okay, now I have these two products added to my code. I can give some additional discount I want or make any changes that I want to this particular code, and I can click on save. Okay, so till now what we have done, we have created a code record. We have added products to our code. Whatever products we have added to our code, that products or those products I am able to see in my code lines related list. Now let me go back to the opportunity. If I open the opportunity, so my code is created total with, let's say, 3,200 US dollar. So the 3,000 is the amount of my laptop and $200 is the amount of my Netflix subscription. But if I go to opportunity, on opportunity, the amount field is still blank and I do not see any products here. Now, if I want to do it, what I have to do, I have to check this primary checkbox on my code level. Once the primary checkbox is checked on the code level, all the information from my code, products and pricing information, that will sync from my code to the opportunity. Okay, the reason this primary checkbox needs to check here is because there is a parent-child relationship between opportunity and code. One opportunity can have n number of quotes, multiple quotes. Now, how can we identify from which particular quote the information should flow to opportunity? To identify that, Salesforce CPQ has provided us this primary checkbox that needs to be checked. And once this primary checkbox is checked, what I can see, okay, it's recalculating. Okay, that is done. So if I open the opportunity now, I can see the amount on my opportunity has been changed to 3,200 US dollar. Products, I can see whatever products I have added on my quote, those products are added to my opportunity as well. Now, reason all this information is flowing back to the opportunity is because the standard forecasting that Salesforce provide, that forecasting uses the opportunity object. So we have to make sure an opportunity is there to track our revenue and the products that we have sold or that we are going to sell to our customer in upcoming quarter or year. So, okay, this is it. What we have done till now, we have created a particular quote. We have synced that particular quote to our opportunity. Now, what sales rep will do? Sales rep will also need to send a PDF document to the customer informing that we have added these two products for you and this is the price that you have to pay. Now, how do sales rep will generate a document? So to generate a PDF document, sales rep will have to click here on this generate document button. Okay. Once this generate document button is clicked, sales rep will get an option to select which template they want to use. So I'm going to use this SV text of template. Output, whether I want the document to be generated in PDF and Word, what should be the paper size, and if I want to add some additional documents to my PDF. So as of now, I'm not going to add anything. If I click on the save an email, that I would be able to email the PDF document to my contact. If I, as of now, I do not have any integration with Adobe Sign or DocuSign, so I'm not getting an option here to send the document via or send a document through electronic signature or e-signature. I'm only getting this save an email option. But if we install the Adobe Sign or DocuSign, we will get an additional option or additional button here that will say us or that will give us an option to send this document for e-signature. Now I'm going
Sorry
to
for
just
interrupting you. Just a minute, please.
sure.
How long the meet would go on that trip?
I have planned around 1.5 hours. Do you?
No, I need to get into one of my office call now. Will I get a recording of this?
Yeah, you will definitely get a recording. You can connect with Kishore and he will provide you the recording.
Yes. I don't actually have their number. Can you just ping their number to me on the chat, please?
Sure, sure. You can get the number from here. Let me. Okay. Mm, okay. This is the number.
Because we had got this over a group actually. So
Okay.
I just joined from the group Salesforce Trailblazers.
Okay.
Hmm.
And also, you will be able to find the recording on the YouTube channel of SV Techsoft. So let me also share that. So you go to YouTube. I'm going to add a link of this channel. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome.
And absolutely, your training is very good, Rishabh. The way you are trying to explain, impressed. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'll hope to seeing you in our upcoming session.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Bye. Okay. So where were we? Okay. So now what we were doing? Okay, I was showing you how we can generate a PDF document for the customer. So to generate a PDF document, um, I can click on save and the document would be saved on my code, but I'll, I'll just click on preview just to show you how the PDF document will look like. So, okay, it's taking some time to load. Let me click back. Let me click generate document again. Let me click on. Okay, this is not a correct example. Let me change it to SV TechSoft. Click preview. Okay, so this is how the PDF document or the code document will look like. I can have my company logo at the top. I can have my company address, company information. Then I can have the bill to and ship to information of my customer, some additional information that I required. Then the products that I have added will show in a table like this. And then I can have my terms and condition, and then at the bottom I can have a signature block for my customer. Now this code template is 100% customizable. We can modify or make any changes that we think is feasible, or that we think is feasible for us. Okay, so we can make all those changes. Let me. This is how the document will look like initially. But if we want to make any changes or any certain changes, we would be able to do this. So this is the document that will go to the customer. Customer will review this. Customer will check, okay, whether he agrees with pricing or not. If he says okay, he's agreed to pay us the price and he wants to close the particular deal, then he will just sign this particular code, send the code back to the sales rep, and then the sales rep will proceed with closing the opportunity and fulfilling the order to the customer. If we have electronic signature, Adobe Sign or DocuSign, then the customer just need to sign here electronically, and the document would be copied to the sales rep or copied to the Salesforce with the signature updated. So now let's suppose we have saved this template and we have emailed this template to our customer, and customer agrees to buy the product. Customer has signed that particular document saying I am ready to buy the products from you. Now what would be our next step as a sales rep here would be, we would be going back to our opportunity. We would be marking this opportunity as closed one. Okay, as soon as this opportunity is marked as closed one, no, the process in our sales cloud would end here. But the process in our Salesforce CPQ will still continue. Once the opportunity is closed one, what we have to do, as of now, what we have done, we have just uh, quoted the products to our customer, and then we just got a confirmation that the customer is going to buy the product. Now the next thing comes, that that product needs to be delivered to the customer as well. So there needs to be an order fulfillment team who would be working on it and who would be delivering the products to the customer. Now, to how do we create an order record? To create an order record, we after close making the opportunity closed one, we will again go back to our code and check this order checkbox. Once this order checkbox is checked, an order record would be created for Salesforce for this particular code. Now, this is just a field that we need to click to generate an order. So this is 100% customizable. Like if we don't want the sales rep to manually check this checkbox, what we can do, we can create an automation using either a flow or a process builder and check this checkbox automatically once the opportunity is closed one. Then once this order checkbox is checked, you can see an order record is generated. If I open this order record, in this order record, I can see the same products or the same information that I have added to the particular code. Okay, and those products or the code lines will be added as an order product here. Now this order record that would be assigned to the order fulfillment team. Order fulfillment team will start working on it. They will click activate. Okay, so once the order fulfillment team has fulfilled the order, once the product is dispatched or delivered to the customer, the step that order fulfillment team will do, they will check this contracted checkbox. Okay, and once this contracted checkbox is checked again, then a contract record would be created in Salesforce CPQ. Now, what the contract record is, I told you earlier, the contract record is not a legal binding between a customer or a company. The contract record is what I say is a placeholder for all the services that we are selling to our customers. So if I come here, go to this contract, I don't see any contract. Okay, but as soon as I refresh it, I'm able to see a contract record now. Now let me come back here. Okay, what we have added, we have added two products. Uh, we have added these two products to our customer. Okay, we have sold episode demo laptop, and we have added the net sold the Netflix subscription to our customer. Now, just by taking a look, what we can get or what we can understand, this episode demo laptop is a hardware product. Okay, that customer needs to pay only once, and the product will remain with the customer. And this Netflix annual subscription, this is a subscription product that will remain active for 1 year, and that needs to be renewed after every year. Okay, now the contract that is created, if I open that particular contract, this particular contract, if I go to related, I can see a related list for subscription. Here I only see one product, that is Netflix annual subscription. So basically the contract record will store the information of all the subscription product or all the services that a customer has purchased from us. Now again, this contract is related to my account. If I go to this SV Techsoft account, I will be able to see how many contracts the customer has with us, how many and what is the end date and start date and end date of those contracts. Now what about like this on our quote, we have also added this episode demo laptop. So once we check the contracted checkbox on contract, how will we know like a customer has like as soon as the contracted checkbox is checked on order, a contract record is created with the subscription of Netflix annual subscription. So we can create a report saying that okay, this customer has this many active subscription with us. What will happen to this episode demo laptop after the contracted checkbox is checked on order? So all the standalone product, all the hardware or non-subscription product, okay, they will not go to the contract record. A subscription record will not created for those products. For those type of product, a asset record would be created under this particular account, and we can open this account, come to related list, and just by looking at a glance we can see okay how many assets or how many hardware products this customer has purchased from us. So as of now, we have only added that episode demo laptop, so that demo laptop product I am seeing here. Now how this asset subscription, how this conversion will work, there are some more configuration changes that we need to do, that we will take a look in the later sessions of this training. But as of now, just keep this in mind, like whenever a quote is created with some products, okay, the next step from creating the from quote is generating an order. Like once the opportunity is closed, one order would be generated for that particular quote. From order, contract record would be generated. If there are subscription product, those subscription product will go as a subscription record on our order. Okay, if there is no subscription product, only standalone product, then those standalone product will create a asset record in our Salesforce CPQ. Okay, now what we have done, we have completed till contract creation in our process flow. So let me go back to the contract record that got created. Okay, so this is the contract record that got created. The reason for this contract record is this contract record is saying, okay, the customer has purchased Netflix subscription from us. That Netflix subscription will remain active from this date to this date. Now, there can be a scenario where after 3 or 4 months, customer wants to not renew, customer wants to make some changes in the contract, or once this duration is completed, the contract needs to be renewed as well. So for making any changes or renewing a particular contract, we have this renewal section and amendment section. Amendment section is used to make changes in existing contract, and renewing this renewal information section is used to create a renewal opportunity and renewal code from this contract. So as of now, we are not going to look into the amend part. Let's say this contract is about to end. Okay, now we have to renew it. How to renew a contract? What we have to do, we have to simply come here, check this renewal forecast checkbox. As soon as the renewal forecast checkbox is checked, renewal opportunity would be created here. So this renewal opportunity is created. What some organizations are doing, as soon as the contract record is created, same time they are checking this renewal forecast and renewal opportunity is generated. If I go to this renewal opportunity, the amount I can see is 200. That is the amount of my Netflix annual subscription. Because this is a renewable product, the laptop product that I have added to the original quote was a non-renewable product. So that product I will not get into my renewal opportunity. Now I have the renewal opportunity, but there is no quote here. So I don't have to generate the renewal quote manually. What I can do, I can just come back to the existing contract and check this renewal quoted checkbox. As soon as this renewal quoted checkbox is checked, a renewal quote would be generated for my opportunity. If I refresh this page, I would be able to see the renewal quote here now as well. Now this renewal quote is again a brand new quote where I can perform the same operations. So to generate a renewal opportunity and renewal quote, this renewal forecast and renewal quoted checkbox needs to be checked on contract. Renewal forecasts will create an opportunity. Ideally, renewal forecast would be checked by an automation, either flow or a trigger, as soon as a contract is created. So we have a renewal opportunity in our pipeline just to create a forecasting report how much revenue we are going to generate through renewals. Then this renewal quoted that can be checked manually, or there can be an automation, like let's say 14 days or 15 days before or 1 month before the contract ended, this renewal quote would be checked automatically. So that we can use using the standard CPQ flow or triggers. uh, did I get any question? Okay. Let me come back here. Okay, so this is how the renewal would work. Then simply on my renewal opportunity, I'll do the same thing. From my renewal quote, I'll generate the document. Now, if I click edit lines on this renewal quote, I can see the dates are automatically adjusted. The earlier quote was 2024 to 25. On this quote, the state dates are automatically adjusted from 2025 to 2026. Now, the same operation I will perform here. I'll click generate document. I'll use this SV tech template. I'll send that particular document to the customer or to my end user and wait for his signature. As of now, I only see one product because that laptop product is excluded from the renewals. Then let's suppose if customer agrees to buy, customer will sign the document and send the document back to us. What sales rep will do? Sales rep will come here, close the opportunity. Once the opportunity is closed, the next step will remain the same. They will come to the quote, check the order checkbox, click on save. An order record would be generated from here. Now, from this order record, again the same operation will perform. We have to activate this particular order. Then we'll go to related section here. Okay, sorry, before related, we will check this contracted checkbox. As soon as the contracted checkbox is checked, a contract record will be generated for this customer. So I'll come here, Go to contracts, refresh it. Contract record is generated. Now, this contract will remain active from 2025 to 2026. We can perform the same operation here. Okay, we can once click on renewal forecast, again a renewal opportunity would be generated for this contract, and then again we can check the renewal quoted, and the renewal quote would be generated against our renewal opportunity. So this is typically the end-to-end process of Salesforce CPQ. This is how Salesforce CPQ handle products configuration, products code creation, the code document generation, order and contract creation. So with this, I'll take a pause. If anyone has any question, feel free to ask. Okay, so to reply to Faisal question, is there any rare project uh, where we can have our practice, or where you guys can do practice? So I would be giving you so based on this training, let me show you the content that we have. So this is our content. Okay, uh, for Salesforce CPQ. In this content, I have mentioned there would be a mini project at the end of this project. So what I mean by this mini project, uh, I would be giving you some real life scenarios that what I have implemented till now for different customers environment that you have to implement in your developer org. All that would be the last exercise of this project or of this CPQ course. So as part of this course, we are going to cover CPQ plus billing. So there would be a mini project for CPQ plus there would be a mini project for billing also for each and every. So let's suppose whatever topic we are going to cover on daily basis, there would be some scenario based exercise that you have to perform each and every day. So let me go back here. Just give me 1 minute. So these are some scenarios. For example, scenario 2. Let's open scenario 3. So I have created some scenarios for you, like that is related to each and every topic. Like if we covered product configuration, then I will give you a scenario or real life scenario based on how to create products. If we are working on bundles, if you are working on pricing, so for each and every scenario, for each and every topic, we have a real life scenario that I would be giving to you each and every day that you have to complete in your developer org. And next day when we start the training, we will start with the scenario that was given to you on a before day or earlier day. So there would be a good amount of hands-on practice that you will get. Okay, then also what we are offering this certification assistance. Like if you're planning to go for Salesforce CPQ certifications, we would help you with some of the mock test, and we would be covering all these topics, plus we will help you with some mock tests. We will provide you some mock test material or MCQ questions that will help you to overcome, or that will help you to complete the Salesforce CPQ certification as well. Also what I have created these many documents. Okay, that these documents are related to each and every topics that we are going to cover. So for example, if I open this guided selling, that is one of the topic in Salesforce CPQ. What I have done, I have created a document that will define what the guided selling is. Okay, how do we configure guided selling, how we can create it, what are the steps, what are the objects related for to create guided selling. And then there would be there is a real life scenario, and then there is a solution how I implement the real life scenario as well with screenshots. So these type of documents I have created for each and every topic that would be sharing with you on daily basis, that you can refer for your learning. Same way, uh, for Adobe, like this first document, Adobe Sign integration. So I created a document with all the steps, how Adobe Sign integration will work, how you can integrate your Salesforce CPQ with Adobe Sign with all the steps mentioned here. So these documents it took me a lot of time to build. I would be sharing all these documents with you as a part of this particular course. So each and every day, what you would be getting, whatever we have completed, you will get a scenario plus notes related to that topic. You will also get a recording of that particular topic. So if you missed anything at during the part of the training, or because of any reason you missed a particular day, you can go through the recording, and then you will get an idea what we are going through in our training, or what topics are running into the training as of now. So I think this is all I had planned for today. We had one more topic of code line editor overview, but that may take some time. So let's take a pause here. Okay, we if you have any question, feel free to ask. If not, then I think we are good to close the session. You can get in touch with SV TechSoft, or you can get in touch with Kishore to book the slots. And once the regular classes are started, we will start covering the topics in depth or in detail. Okay, so with this, I'll take a pause here. Uh, Kishore, I am giving you the control. If you have anything to add, feel free to add. Else, I think we are good to close our demo session for today.